Beautiful day, loved ones. So we have been asked, what is the next step in the earth's spiritual advancement? So when you use the word advancement, we find that you use the word advancement to denote an above status, a status on a continuum that is invisible, however, denotes as if there is only one way, up or down, above or below. We think the question you wish to ask is, what is the next largest spiritual development within humankind? Would be a better phrased question. And so we wish to share some information with you. And this information, when it reaches your energy field, if you will just take a moment and breathe and get centered into yourself, into that place of you that is the spark or the creation or the creator. And begin to just focus on your breath. And as you focus on your breath, get so still, so centered, that your breath begins to elongate. And as you exhale, again controlling the breath, letting go until you can hear your breath in the back of the throat, the ujjayi breath, opening the back of the throat, where you can hear a wave-like sound or a whisper. And begin to listen to that whisper in the back of your throat. Begin to follow the whisper. Till all you can hear is that whisper sound in the back of your throat, moving with the breath. As the ocean laps at the soil gently and softly. And as you begin to follow that breath into the stillness, your breath begins to get longer and longer. Deeper and deeper. And the spaces between the breath get longer and longer as every cell in your being is focused on the breath and following the sound of the whisper. And you follow this sound until you reach that still place in your breath. You bring all of your awareness to that stillness. If a thought comes in here or there, it's okay, just let it go. It's the mind, the ego, reaching and searching for your acknowledgement. Just let it go. And your breath becomes deeper. And the time between your breath, inhale and exhalations, become longer. And you feel the breath just begin to slip away. And you know that you don't really need this breath, that just your consciousness, being in that still place, connected to the source of all things, to your central energy point, to the core. And you begin to feel your entire body slip away, knowing you don't need your body, just following your breath, coming back to the breath. And as you move that beautiful golden light up and down your spine, as you breathe in, the energy rising from the base of the spine up, and as you exhale, that golden light moving down through the sit bones into the earth. You just allow all of your awareness to be in your breath. And now a little part of your awareness focus on that golden light. Just for a moment. And as you inhale the energy out of the crown of the head, stay here, out past the Milky Way, out past your galaxy, to the edges of the universe. Now, as we ask this question, returning this question to you, just allow whatever to come, to come. What is the next spiritual development on the planet called Earth that your physical vessel, your being, is housed in? For every creature, from the flying ones and standing ones. Water ones and creepy crawlies, four-leggeds and two-leggeds. We're here doing all that we can, but you too are a participant. There will be a large awakening, and this may be delivered in the house of discomfort. The ones who are awake will see this not as a discomfort, but as a type of fertilizer. As you fertilize your gardens, the environment is also fertilized. So in this fertilization process, the soil is tilled, taken care of. It is weeded. Right now, the fertile soil in which you find you're rooted in, the present moment of now, is ripe and fertile for growth. The awakening is the growth. Each one of you, every single one that's listening to my voice, I want you to imagine for a moment being able to feel when spirit, your spirit, the spirit of your wholeness, your fullness, the one connected to the core, when that part of yourself steps into the driver's seat or the forefront, the planet and all of its beings change. And the ripeness, the fertileness of the soil for awakening is now. Each one teaches, each one learns. The voice of I would be the voice of this physical vessel. The voice of we is the unifying field of everything. So as I and we merge, the frequency rises, and that evolutionary spiritual development is different for each one. Each learning, growing, changing at different levels, different places, different frequency. Within a frequency, it breaks down to tiny, 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 tiny decimals. So each one is shifting and changing. Some moving forward, some moving faster, slower, some moving much more calmly, some moving much more excitedly. This is the time for the tipping point that you play a role in, the tipping point in mass consciousness that can develop a vortex that begins to pull everyone into it. When this vortex is open and begins to move, the suction becomes rapid. And if the mind is stuck, is finding comfort in remaining asleep, so there's no responsibility, which equates to no change. The frequency in which the vortex opens is extremely strong and powerful and can cause a disruption in the mental fields of the subjects who are not ready to awaken or whose free will chooses to remain in the comfort zone of what they only realize and know. Their reality is their reality. Will you accept the responsibility? We ask, will you be responsible to share with your loved ones, with your friends, with your communities, the light, the kindness, the love? Open your heart, and your spirit will speak the words of wisdom from the core, that in which you call Source, God, Creator, Shiva, Vishnu, Gaia, Jesus, Yahweh, Jehovah. We like to refer to this as a universal flow of consciousness, which has no form, which can take form just as water can take form and ice, but that which has no form. Will you share love, or will you stay rooted in judgment, or in fear, or in all the things that are made up in the mind, in the ego? Will you allow the wedges, the separations, to continue to be the perception that you are different than your brother or your sister, that you are separate? Separateness is simply a delusion of the mind. It does not exist. The power of the mind becomes your truth. What you believe becomes your reality. Will you take the responsibility to share love and peace and kindness and acceptance? No more judging. We're all doing the best we can with what we know. Many are dropping into fear, into pain, into anger. The energy in which that is exuding is strong, but you are stronger. Yes, you. I know what you're thinking. Oh, she's not talking to me. I'm talking to you. If you're watching this because I'm talking to you. We each create and co-create. Somewhere you are asking, and this is the response. Will you accept the power that is within you? Tame the mind that is making you believe delusions. A mind which tells you you're less than, not good enough, not perfect, you can't. We are here to share that you can. That somewhere along the way you began to believe that somehow you are separate and you are powerless, when these statements are completely false and inaccurate. Inaccurate. Completely. We simply wish, desire, and our free will choice is to assist you. In whatever form that you call us, we will come. We are here for your assistance. We are here to serve you. As you fully evolve into your fullness, into the expanded self, where the untapped power resides. Will you step forward and fully embrace that in which you are? and decide to make the planet in which you call Earth beautiful and abundant, filled with unity and with love. No matter the color of the vessel that you inhabit, no matter the culture in which you chose to be, no matter your social status, your gender, your belief pattern, no matter. All of that means naught on the realms of the universal consciousness. Don't let fear and anger and separation take root. Resist. It's a different kind of resistance than what comes to your mental capacity. Your mental capacity wants to say fight. We say rise. Your mental capacity wants to become angry. We say love. Your mental capacity wants to tell you stories and untruths, for it's been trained. It takes 72 hours to brainwash a human. 72 hours. How many of you allow 72 hours every month, every week, every 2 months, 12 times a year? 72 hours. If you watch the electronics that put out a certain wave, it influences the mind constructs of the human brain. Now I know, and we know, when the vessel knows what we know. You're thinking, come on, this has got to be false. It's untrue. There's information for you. I invite you. We invite you. The I and the we. Do your research, and you shall find that we know what we're talking about with the mind. Become the keeper and guard your thoughts, for in them you are creating. Beauty, peace and love, compassion, and kindness, and trust. abundance and prosperity, health and wellness. And as you breathe, you create all of this beauty consciously, choosing not to allow the lower mind to bring your delusions into reality. Only that which vibrates with love and joy and happiness and peace and kindness and laughter and health and wellness creates. Thank you for joining us. We're here whenever you need. Just reach up and ask, and you shall receive.